What's your name and what are you currently working towards? Has boxing introduced into your daily handle the daily pressure of being a boxer? What's the scariest thing about you as a fighter do you want to be remembered as?
My name is Malik Johnson, aka Bam Bam. I'm currently working towards being an Olympian and a world-class pro. My whole life revolves around boxing. My drive to reach my goals and dreams is just so strong and powerful that the daily struggles of boxing don't even affect me. The scariest thing about me as a fighter would be just how much pain I can inflict with my punches. I can pick you apart, I can open you up, I can set traps, I got good feet, I got a good jab, I got power, I got speed, I got snap, I got pop. I got just about anything you can ask for. I can make you miss, I can make you pay. There's not much you can really do with me. That's why I'm so successful. I want to be the best. I want to be better than everybody. I want to be, on paper, the best. Visibly shown that I'm the best.
Introduce yourself. What's your name and what are you currently working towards?
My name is Malik Johnson, aka Bam Bam. I'm currently working towards being an Olympian and a world-class pro.
In what sport?
Boxing.
Okay. Let's take it back to the beginning. Let's hear about how boxing came into the picture. Do you remember the first time you ever laced up a pair of boxing gloves? How old were you? And how did it make you feel?
When I first got into boxing, my uncle actually introduced me. I used to fight a lot in school and I needed an outlet, so this was my outlet. My first time putting on a pair of gloves, I was 9 years old. It was in Stoneham, Mass. at Farrakhan's Boxing. It was actually my first gym out of 3. And that was my first time. I just loved to fight. So putting on a pair of gloves was just like, it didn't even feel brand new to me. It just felt regular, like everyday thing. In school, I would fight a lot, yeah. And then I would just beat kids up bad, get expelled. And if the teachers tried to like grab me or whatever, like it would get bad. Like cops would have to come. They would escort me in a stretcher in the ambulance and everything. Like I would flip out on teachers. Yeah, it was bad. But yeah.
So what initially drew you to the sport? Would you say it was like the violence, beating up people? Like what drew you to it?
To be honest, what drew me to the sport was just like how much I really just love to fight. I don't really think it had anything to do with, I wasn't a violent person. I just went through a lot as a kid and I had a lot of anger in me and I just wanted to get it out on something. And so when I came to boxing, that was my outlet. When I first got into boxing, at 9 years old, I wasn't going through as much, but I was dealing with like getting over like past abuse and stuff like that. Just not having my mom or my dad in the picture and little things like that, bouncing around family members, not really having a permanent home. That was just the number one thing that just made me so angry.
So you use that as an advantage, your anger. You use that as an advantage in boxing as a kid. Did you know that it was an advantage for you?
To be honest, I kind of did because boxing and street fights are totally different. But anytime I would get into a fight outside of the gym or at school, there was just something different that I had in me that other kids just couldn't handle. And I just knew I would be different in a boxing ring if I could control that.
How did your boxing skills compare with other kids your age?
As soon as I first started, I didn't really get into many fights. I was very focused on boxing, and so I was very strict to myself and trying to be as disciplined as possible to not put my hands on anybody, as of thinking it early in my career as if I would get into too much trouble. It gave me discipline, something I really didn't have much of. I was a very hothead. I just had a lot of built up anger. I had like a little demon inside of me, and obviously I still have it, but I know how to control them now.
So when you noticed boxing was gonna be your life, like you were gonna dedicate your life to it, you said you noticed within like a few months, right? What changed?
I think just my natural talent and people noticing it in the gym, trainers, other fighters, people outside of the gym, noticing that I could fight when I was in the boxing gym, just seeing me shadow box hit the bag, they knew I had a natural talent. There was just things that I could do that most beginners couldn't do in the first few days. And that's kind of like what motivated me to know, oh, like it's more than just being able to fight on the street, because it's two different worlds, and in a boxing ring and on the streets. And people they don't understand that.
Do you have any family members that are boxers or that were boxers?
No, I actually don't.
So
I don't have any.
Doesn't run in the family at all.
No, it doesn't. Not that I know of. My family's huge, but I don't know of any. I tried to look.
At any point in time, did you ever want to quit boxing and try a different sport?
There was many times at a little bit of a younger age, especially during middle school and high school, where I was like, I want to play all these sports. And I did during high school. I did track, soccer, basketball, flag football. And in middle school, I played football, tackle for Pop Warner and youth. But once I got into boxing, all those things, they didn't even matter to me. Like all that high school stuff, none of that stuff mean anything. I put on a pair of gloves and I was just like, yeah, this is home. This is me. This is what I'm going to be.
Do you like the fact that winning pretty much, at the end of the day, yes, you have a team that helps you out, but it's really up to you compared to like football where it's like a team sport, basketball is a team sport. Do you like that about boxing?
Yeah, I do, because in my opinion, I'm very independent. So anytime if I slip up in a fight, can't blame anybody but myself. But on the basketball court, one thing I was really dealing with bad was my teammates. How weak some of them would just be. I couldn't handle it, because being a boxer, it was just like, bro, you don't even know. Like, you don't even know. Like, push yourself a little bit. Like, why are you crying about the littlest stuff? But, yeah, no, being independent and being a boxer definitely went hand in hand, because I can't blame nobody but myself when I make mistakes.
Let's talk a little bit about your training and the habits that shape who you are as a fighter. What habits and routines has boxing introduced into your daily life?
My whole life revolves around boxing. I actually set that up myself because that's just my career. That's what I want to do. So everything I do revolves boxing, my personal training, the little bit of hours that I'm going to pick up when I start work again, things like that, all go around boxing. Boxing's plan A. There is no plan B. So that's just where my head is, straightforward, no looking down. Consistency, repetition, doing the same thing over and over. Less is more. It's a big thing for me.
What does road work mean to you?
Road work for me, that's my road work. When I do road work, I like to do fast-paced miles. I'm big on not doing slow pace. Here and there, I'll do a slow pace, but I'm big on doing speed for a long distance instead of sprints or slow-paced jogs.
How fast are you running?
My average time per mile, if I do 3 miles or 4 miles, my average time is between like 6:20 and under 7 minutes.
Are you going all out, or you're going about 85, 95%?
Yeah, about 85%, because I can do a mile in under 5 minutes.
What do you focus on training specifically?
When I train, it's a lot of old school style training. My coach is very old school. He's an old Italian guy. Shout out to Joe Ricciardi, my main coach. He teaches me to think basics over and over again, repetition, discipline, not getting bored of doing the same thing over and over again. For example, shadow box, 8-10 rounds, not getting tired of doing the same thing over and over again. A lot of times boxers, even at the high levels, they'll get in the ring, do 5-round shadow, and they start to get tired of doing it, because it's just, who am I fighting? What am I hitting? I'm not hitting nothing. But for me, that's where you get all your skills from. Shadow boxing, I think, is the most important part of training.
What keeps you motivated during tough training sessions?
My future, how bright it's going to be, my goals, the money I'm going to make, and just the people that I have around me that I can impress, and not most importantly, impress myself.
Behind every fighter, there's always a team of supporters. Let's talk about your supporters.
I got a lot of supporters.
What gym do you represent?
Broadway Boxing is my gym. Broadway Boxing with Wilcox Athletics. That's ran by Jake Wilcox, Dennis Wilcox, and Shay Wilcox. Shay Wilcox is a pro boxer, 4-0, 3 knockouts. He's having his 5th fight November 1st. Dennis Wilcox is like my secondary coach. That's the father of Jake and Shay. Jake, he's an ex-football player. I'm pretty sure he's still playing football. He played for Brown University. He was going to be on the Patriots, but I think something might have happened. But he still has the opportunity. And I got a big support system. My coach, Joe Ricciardi, is my head coach. He's the one who teaches me everything, helps me. And I have sponsors in the mix right now. They're still working through. I'm still working with sponsors, but I have a few right now, like Cafe Nero, shout out to them. Box Rope, they're about to sponsor me. They're in the making of that. Desi's Barbershop in Lynn. Alkaline Bodega, he does like meal prep, stuff like that. And my coaches and Dennis and Shay. So the way my sponsors are set up are depending on which package you buy, gold or silver, you get different benefits. So the gold is more so just me posting and tagging you more on my Instagram. You just get to be out there more. But both packages include a patch on my boxing trunks every time I travel to a nationals or out of the state, anywhere around the country or out of the country. And you get little deals like that'll go with the packages, like being tagged in posts. Like, for example, I would have 2 bi-weekly posts on story and then 1 feed post for the gold or for the silver package. I'm not exactly sure which one it is, but it's basically just money, financial support to help me when I travel.
What are some of the most important lessons your coaches and mentors have taught you about life and boxing?
I think one of the most important things that my coach, he tells me all the time, he says, don't forget about the people that were around before you made it big. And that's one thing that I really, really appreciate, because I've always said, once I make it, everybody that was supporting me or lived with me or is my family, we all gonna eat in the end. So that's one big thing that he's always said to me. And it's a funny thing, but it's true. It really is true.
In terms of boxing, what would you say is the biggest advice that you received from any of your coaches?
There's a lot of things that go into the boxing and a lot of things that go into coaching. But if I was to pick out one thing, man, I've said it before, I guess it's just not being bored of doing the same thing. Repetition work, that's what builds skill. That's how you get better.
Crawford talks about that. Like when he does his training camps, he literally just said, everything that I did in the fight, I did in training camp. It was just repetition. Boxing isn't just physical. It's also a mental game, right?
Exactly.
So let's talk about your mindset. How do you handle the daily pressure of being a boxer?
My drive to reach my goals and dreams is just so strong and powerful that the daily struggles of boxing don't even affect me. And everything that goes on in the sport, it just motivates me even more. Anytime I get a slip up or I'm not favored in a fight or anything like that, or something goes wrong in the gym where I'm tired, but my coach is pushing me, all that stuff is just adds strength, adds fire, adds fuel to my fire.
But do you feel the pressure though? Like before a fight, like is your heart pumping? Like are you nervous a little bit? Like do you feel that? Or you're just like 100%, like you don't feel nothing, like no pressure, no nervousness or anything like that?
I've had that question asked a lot actually. And I honestly, obviously everybody gets a little nervous. You feel it, your heart's racing a little. But I'm never afraid. I don't fear nobody. All honesty, I don't fear nobody. So I'm never afraid to get in the ring. But I've always feared things like, oh, if it's a tight fight, will I get robbed? things like that. Main thing that I fear, to be honest, is will I perform well? And that's something that happens. It can happen. I mean, they say preparation in the gym helps you perform well, but there's off nights. Everybody has an off night. You can perform great in the gym and prepare really well in the gym and go to the fight and just something's off. You know what I mean? And you're not the same person, you're not the same fighter.
What kind of mindset do you bring into the ring?
The first thing I think of when I get into the ring is just have fun and do what I do best. Enjoy myself, stay relaxed, and just let everything come together. That's my main mindset when I get in the ring.
You mentioned having fun. You're actually like having fun in there. It's not like surviving or anything like that. Like you don't feel like that?
No, never. Even when I fight a tough opponent who can punch or applies pressure and it's hard, I just enjoy it. There's something about it that just makes me love the sport so much when I'm fighting good competition, especially when I win, especially when I dominate.
How's your boxing IQ?
I'll be honest. I think my boxing IQ is real high. I'm very humble. I've had a lot of people tell me that. I'm very humble, and I don't like to talk a lot of trash until I'm either in the ring or out the ring. But in the gym, during interviews, stuff like that, I won't say much. I just like to be humble, kind of like Crawford. But honestly, I think I'm very skilled. I got just about everything. I can really pick and choose what I want to do with my opponent. I can find openings very easily. I can pick you apart. I can open you up. I can set traps. I got good feet. I got a good jab. I got power. I got speed. I got snap. I got pop. I got just about anything you can ask for. I can make you miss. I can make you pay. There's not much you can really do with me. That's why I'm so successful.
Let's get into that a little more. What division do you fight in, and how old are you?
I'm 19 years old, and I fight at 154, elite male. I just moved up, actually, probably about 8 fights ago.
154. And what's the classification of that division? Is it super middleweight?
No, that's super welterweight.
Super welterweight, okay.
Yeah.
So you were fighting at welterweight before?
Yeah, I was fighting at,
147?
super light, super welter. They changed the weight class, 143 now. It's a little funky.
And what's your height and reach?
I'm 5'11", and I'm not sure what my reach is.
Never measured it?
No.
How would you describe your boxing style? Are you a come forward fighter, outside fighter, inside fighter?
In the beginning of my career as an amateur, I started off as like a brawler, walk you down type of guy. As soon as I started to get my first few knockouts, I was like, yeah, I started applying pressure. But as I got more experience, I started training to learn all aspects of boxing. Fight inside, outside, puncher, you know what I mean? Boxer. I can just about do it all. I try to do just about everything. I try to be able to go around everything so I can form to any opponent.
Where do you feel most comfortable at? What kind of style would you say?
If I was to have like one style, I would say if you're backing up, you're making a mistake because I'm going to walk you down and I'm going to do a lot of things that some of these amateurs haven't seen before. And I can switch stances, but I would say the most important thing that I would do is walking you down, and I got power. I'll keep you at range. You won't be able to touch me, and I'll be hitting you with that you can't even see.
You fight from both stances,
Yeah.
orthodox and southpaw.
Yeah.
Where do you start off at?
Orthodox. There's a lot of things that can cause me to switch. A few things are if I know they're uncomfortable fighting orthodox or southpaw, either or. Most guys are very uncomfortable fighting southpaws, especially good southpaws. And if a guy is making a mistake like being too square as a southpaw, I'll switch southpaw because then it's easy to pick them apart as a southpaw. But if I'm orthodox and they're square, and they're orthodox and square, I'll stay orthodox and stick the jab and work the hook. But there's just a lot of things that go to that. It's kind of a long story, but there's a lot of key components that go into that type of stuff. Boxing is a science.
What combinations would you say best showcase your boxing style?
Before the combinations, my jab. My jab is probably my best punch. It's very overlooked when it comes to fighting nowadays, but jab really takes over boxing. Many fights have been won with just the jab. You don't really need much else. You can fight with just a good jab if you know how to change it up, change levels with the jab, change speed with the jab, change power with the jab, use it to set up power jabs, things like that. But I think my jab is the best punch that I have. But I can put combinations together. My right hand, left hook, that's good. I can go to the body really, really well. There's a lot of things I can do.
Do you have any memorable sparring wars that stand out?
Yeah, I sparred some good talent, a lot of local guys. I've moved around with Jermaine Ortiz, James Perella, Shea Wilcox is actually the guy, one of the pros in our gym. James Pipple Perkins, he's another guy in our gym. He's a big guy though. He's a light heavy and a super middle, 168 and 175. Some more guys that I moved around with, Jada Pina. Who else? I moved around with a lot of guys. I'm soon to be moving around with Jaye Brown. Hopefully Rashidi Ellis. Yeah, big plans for sure. Oh, I moved around with Gilbert Kabamba too at the old gym.
Really?
We used to move around too.
Whoa, that's a huge weight difference.
I mean, obviously we gotta work. He's not trying to kill me, but he said something about my power that kind of like boosted my ego a little too much one time after we sparred.
You cracked him?
Yeah, I cracked him. Even to the body too. He said, I was worried about the right hand, and the right hand is probably most powerful, but that left hand, yo, he was like, that left hand is dangerous too. But yeah.
And were you guys sparring with 14-ounce gloves, 16 ounces?
16, yeah.
And he felt that power with 16? Wow.
Yeah, we sparred with headgear, and then one time he had no headgear.
I think it's good mentally to spar, bigger individuals, because then when you face people your size, you kind of think like, I sparred bigger opponents than you, and they haven't done anything to me.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do nothing to me.
Yeah.
Kind of have that mindset, right?
That's a lot of the reason why a lot of high-end people who know a lot about boxing will say, I love the way you fight, I like your style, but you get hit a lot. And I think one of those things is just me conserving energy and not caring too much about the person's power. Sometimes I'll get confident after I feel their shots, everything they got, and it's kind of just like nothing to me because I've been in the ring with guys who punch 20 times harder. So that's something that it's been shown a lot. People say it a lot.
What's the scariest thing about you as a fighter?
I think the scariest thing about me as a fighter would be just how much pain I can inflict with my punches. Not only just being raw power, but just having that speed that makes it even worse to get hit by because you won't even see it coming. And I have the power behind it. But my mindset is also very dangerous. The way I think in the ring. Very methodical, but I'm very vicious. I can be aggressive.
You keep mentioning you have speed. Do you have better speed or better timing? If you have great timing, it could look like you have great speed.
That's a good point. I think my timing actually takes over my speed, but when you have both, it's dangerous, and it could show that it looks like you have more timing just because you're thinking. I think my timing is great, and I think a lot of people get it mixed up. If I time the person right as they're punching with my speed, it's kind of like a mix.
They complement
That's
each
just
other.
unexpected. Yeah,
They work together.
and they blend together.
So you mentioned you're 19 years old. You're out of high school, right?
Yeah, I just graduated.
You've accomplished a lot already. Let's talk about your journey throughout your accomplishments. But before that, what is your current national rank in your weight class, and what is your amateur record?
My current national rank is number 4 in the country. I should be number 1, but I will be by December. My weight class is 154 elite male. I should be number one because I just won the nationals. I beat a 4-time national champ who was ranked number 3, and they have me ranked below him somehow. And I beat him 5-0. And everybody in the crowd thought he was going to knock me out. I don't know how, because I've never been knocked out before. But they got me mistaken. I'm a New England guy. They don't like us over here. They don't know who we are. But they're going to find out.
And you
soon.
beat him unanimous decision, or was it split?
It was a 5-0 unanimous. Toyed with him. Hands down, touching him, moving him. He couldn't do nothing with me.
That's the first time you ever fought him?
Yeah.
And would you say that was the best amateur fighter you've ever fought?
No, no way. I fought a lot of great talent. I fought Boy, he fought Yoel Cooper. He fought Kermel Moton in the past when they were young. No. He lost 3-2 split or 4-1 split. So he's a great fighter. He went toe-to-toe with Kermel. And a lot of things that go behind that because Kermel was like the top dog at that time and everybody was favoring him. So a 3-2, 4-1 split could have went either way in reality. But I fought some great fighters. Yoel Cooper, Naeem Somerville, Aldo Blancas. Who have I fought? Zachary Carter, Dustin Jimenez. He's actually on the Olympic camp, on the team. Who else have I fought? I fought a lot of good fighters. There's so many. Man. I fought New York champions, like 5 year in a row New York champions that won nationals. I think I've beat 3 national champions, three fighters that have won at least 1 nationals.
So in 2024, last year, you made it to nationals, but you fell short. Walk us through your experience and what you learned from that.
Every time I go to nationals, I just won my last nationals. It was my 4th nationals. Every time I go to nationals, I feel I get closer and closer. My first ever nationals was the Junior Olympics. I got to the second fight and lost to Aldo Blancas. I lost a 5-0 unanimous, which I thought it was closer, but it's okay. He was the favored guy. And then my second nationals was the Virginia Nationals. And I was a little more experienced because I experienced the nationals from Junior Olympics in Kansas.
How long ago was the Junior Olympics in Kansas?
That was 2024. That was summer.
Of 2024?
Of summer. And then I fought 2024 December. That was the Winter Virginia Nationals. And that's where I went to the 3rd fight, and I lost to Roy Fields. Ooh, another great fighter. Roy Fields, who he beat me 4-1, another bogus fight. Everybody thought I beat him. They gave me a crazy 8 count. Like, it was insane. Like, I was tripping because he was a southpaw. And at the time, I wasn't switching that well, but I was trying to learn how to switch. And tripped over his lead foot. As I was stumbling, he just touched me with a jab, and it looked a little funky. But
I was actually watching that fight live.
Yeah, I was right back into it. Yeah. So, but I was a little wild at that time. I was inexperienced. It takes time. I'm still inexperienced. It takes time. No matter how good I look on camera, there's still a lot to learn. Everybody got to learn. Even the pros got to learn. The best of the best got to learn. But after that, I went to the Golden Glove Nationals, which I didn't do really good at because the weight got to me. I was starting to get too big. I was cutting down to 143. I would get in the ring. I would cut weight 5:30 in the morning, have weigh-ins, be on the scale at 6 a.m. I'd get in the ring. I'd be like 152. The next day, I would have to, or that night, I would be like 151. I would lose like a pound or 2 from fighting. And I would have to lose mad weight. It was like 7, one night it was 9 pounds of just sucking it in the sauna. And a lot of it had to do with me eating and rehydrating because I had to, or else I wasn't going to perform well. And I just feel like me trying to rehydrate for after like 6, 7 hours before a fight, it didn't cope well. So when I got in the ring, I was kind of wild and sloppy, and I made a lot of mistakes. And I won the first fight. Then the second fight, I fought a boxer who was really sharp, really good boxer, short, and was really good with his feet. So he kind of fought me on the outside. and then got him when he can and just danced around me the whole time, and my feet were very slow because of the weight cut. And I lost that second fight, and I was supposed to fight Marcus Luther after that fight, but the kid I fought ended up fighting Marcus Luther, and he lost to Marcus Luther, but he explained to me, he said, Marcus Luther got popped, but you can punch. I'm talking about 10 times harder than Marcus Luther. And that was one thing, I've been known that. I'm way bigger than him. He's a little guy. He can punch. Yeah, he got popped, but he don't got nothing that I got. And then from there, I just stayed focused. I knew what I had to do, throw more, get my weight right. Got my weight right, moved up to 154, started fighting at 154 around here, a couple fights to get used to the weight. And I moved up, went to nationals, just dominated, straight domination.
You're currently on a 13-fight winning streak, right?
Yeah, I am actually.
So
13-fight win streak.
what would you say has changed from 2024 to 2025? Would you say it's the experience or is there something else?
I feel like it has a lot to do with experience and just the way my life changed. Being able to be in the gym almost all day long. Even if I'm not training, I'm in here, personal training. I'm around other people boxing. So I'm just seeing the basics over and over again. I'm drilling it into other people's heads. Things like that. They just help. I feel like it's definitely building me to become a better fighter. Just a repetition, same thing. Like I said before in training, all it is repetition, same thing over and over again.
When you look back at the run for nationals and your title win, what's the number one moment that stands out the most?
That win against that four-time national champ, Naeem Somerville, was a great win, a huge moment. But I think the biggest moment was winning by knockout in the finals. That was huge.
Oh, you won by knockout?
Won by knockout.
In what round?
I dropped him twice, first round.
Ooh.
He came out really hot. He was very excited to be in the finals. As soon as I noticed that, I was okay with just letting him hit the arms, rolling his punches, slipping his punches, touching him with jabs to set him up. I touched his chin one time, and I was like, yeah. I seen his eyes roll behind his head. I was like, that's it. I'm gonna let him come to me, stay tight. He's wild. I'll just punch right inside of him, right inside his punches. And I caught him clean. Right hand, left hook, or jab, right hand. Boom, he dropped, stumbled back. The ref let him get back up. Then he came at me again, shoulder roll, right hand, left hook, and that was it. He just all over the place. They stopped it.
I kind of feel like you bring in that pro style approach when you're in the amateurs. You're literally playing chess.
How we train in the gym is to be the best of the best. And they say the pros is the best. So we train like pros in my gym. My coach is very old school, trains a few pros. So that's how we train. We train like pros. We think, we hit and don't get hit. That's the goal. That's the point of boxing. That's part of the science.
You don't think it affects you though? Like you don't think you're going in there with a disadvantage because you're not as aggressive, you're trying to see what your opponent is doing instead of trying to land punches, trying to land points? You don't think that goes against you in terms of like the judges' eyes and what they see?
So yes, I had a lot of problems with that actually. Earlier on in my career, actually even a year ago, I would just not throw enough. And now I've kind of like molded them together to combine an amateur style and a pro style to make it be the hardest for my opponents to compete against.
Talk about, your belts and all these trophies that you have around yourself.
Man, bunch of hard-earned pieces right here.
It's a lot of hardware right there, man.
A lot of hardware. This is my gold first place medal from the National Open in Tulsa, Oklahoma from September. My first national win. This is my last belt I just won in Puerto Rico for the King of the Ring. I fought the number 154 in Puerto Rico. This is my national rank plaque award. This is a WBC medal. This is my Puerto Rico medal from the belt. King of the Ring, New England King of the Ring. This is New England's from last year. This is a Fight of the Night award from the CES Pro-Am show. This is my Golden Glove New England belt from 2025, I believe. Yeah, 2025. And this is my New England King of the Ring belt, my favorite belt. It looks the most professional, just like the IBF and the pros.
What sacrifices have come with the commitment to boxing?
A lot of sacrifices. There's a lot of things I don't do that a lot of my friends or people that I know of do. Like going out, there's times like can't go out, can't eat what I want to eat, got a strict diet. I mean, there's times where I can cheat a little here and there, but it's usually like for a week and that's it. Then for 6 months, I'm back to training again. So it's kind of, but it's off and on though. I try to balance it out, but there's a lot of sacrifices to boxing. Busy schedule. Someone calls me up, oh, let's do this. I can't, bro. I got training. I got things to do. This is my dream. This is important. Those things, I can wait for those. In the future, when my money's right, my time's settled, and I got time to, you know what I mean, go out and do stuff, then we can do stuff. And we can really have fun because I got money to spend.
You've always had that mindset, or did it take a while for you to learn that? Do you learn it through trial and error, where there was a point in time in your boxing career where you were trying to balance that lifestyle of, you know, going out, having fun with your friends, and stay in the gym and be consistent? Or you've always had that mindset of just staying consistent?
No, most definitely I didn't. I wasn't very disciplined or dedicated for a while. I would say I started taking it serious when I was 15. I didn't really open my eyes to like the straight grinding until I was 16. So that's when I believe my career truly started, when I was about 15, 16. You can even say 14. It's when I started to see what I'm really capable of and why I want to focus 100% on the sport. But obviously at a young age, I started at 9 years old. So from 9 to 13, you know, you're a kid, you're stubborn, you're not very disciplined, you're not very, you know, I wasn't very humble at the time either. So there was a lot of things I wanted to do. I wanted to experience things in life. But now I still want to experience things, but I know I can experience those things after the business is done.
Speaking about the business, let's get into it. How long do you plan on remaining amateur? Are you aiming for the Olympics, or are you going to be turning pro soon?
So my goals are to stay in the amateurs for the next 2 to 3 years, pushing towards the Olympics. I had gotten a camp invite for after December Nationals. And when I win December Nationals, it'll be a guaranteed invite. No questions asked. And that's my first step. And then I'll be thinking about the pros. After I go to the Olympic camp, figure that out. All goes good. I go to the Olympics, do my best, then sign pro.
So 2, 3 years you want to remain in the amateurs?
Yes.
And fight for a gold medal pretty much?
Yeah.
I'm going to challenge you a little bit on this, right? Because there's only been a select few of boxers who have actually won medals. And a few of them who have, you know, taken that route to go compete, lost. They've said, like, that's the biggest lesson that they learned. For instance, Floyd Mayweather, when he lost the Olympics, I think he won the bronze. Shakur Stevenson, when he lost, he won silver. Do you think, from your perspective, waiting that long may be a mistake because you could be a pro right now and build that experience and build that career right now?
I disagree because experience is everything when it comes to anything. It comes to getting a job, they're looking for a resume. When it comes to getting into something you need a degree for, they want you to go to college. So same thing with boxing. In my opinion, amateur boxing is like your resume. That's your resume before you go pro. That's your degree. That's your high school diploma. It's all just steps before you even get to the top. Once you get to the top, then there's another set of staircases. You know what I mean? So I disagree. I think time is everything, especially when I'm young. If I was 20, 21, 22, then maybe. But now, no. I'll be 21 when I go pro. There's no rush. I know there's a lot of people out there looking at me, a lot of pro promoters looking at me. I've had a lot of pro promoters, for example, like local guys like Nolan Brothers hit me up and say, oh, whenever you're ready to go pro, just hit me up. Because they like to make little jokes and stuff like that. Because they see talent, they see greatness. But I have bigger dreams. I don't want to be a local guy. I train too hard. I work too hard. Being in the gym 10 years out of my life, why would I stay local when I can stay local as an amateur? You know what I mean? I just don't see it. I want bigger things. Just like I said before, the resume. You go to college, you major in something, you get your nurses or go to your doctors, whatever. The more years you go to college, the more recognition you get, the better you get paid, the more offers you get, the better job you get. Same thing with boxing. It's all goes hand in hand. If I stay into boxing, go to the Olympics, you never know. Any opportunity could come my way. Top Rank could hit me up. There's a lot of people that can hit me up. But as of now, it's just take over the amateurs, wait till the Olympics to come. But you never know. I could be next year or 2 years going pro. But as of now, those are my goals. But a lot of things happen. There's a lot of obstacles on the course, and anything could come my way. But I'm ready to slip it.
What do you hope to accomplish in boxing? I know you mentioned you wanted to fight for the gold medal, the Olympics, and then after that you turn pro. Like, what do you want to accomplish as a pro fighter?
So I can't give you a specific number because time is of the essence and anything can happen. But as of right now, the highest, in my opinion, is Crawford. And Crawford's 3-time undisputed champ. And when it comes to how many weight classes somebody's won a title in, it's Pacquiao. As far as I think,
Yeah,
so.
Manny Pacquiao.
He got 8.
6 or 7.
I think it's 8, yeah. So if I was to put that in perspective, 9-weight division world champ, 4-time undisputed. Those are my goals. Things like that. I want to be the best. I want to be better than everybody. I want to be, on paper, the best. Visibly shown that I'm the best.
So once you get to that point in your career where, you're becoming a little more popular, you're building up your pro career with like the fights that you have, what direction would you like to take? Would you like to, sign with a big promoter, or would you like to focus on your team and building yourself up that way?
I would like to be with a big promoter, obviously get the most recognition, make the most money. But my goal is to do something. And I mean, I've said a lot about Terrence Crawford because he is my favorite fighter of right now and probably of all time. He's probably favorite fighters. I wouldn't say the greatest, but favorite fighters. He's on my top 3 list. And the way he moved when he got the opportunity with Top Rank and refused because they said, you can't bring your coach along, that's not how I want to move. I want to bring everybody who was with me from the beginning all the way to the top. That's my goal. So if it takes to decline an offer, a big offer like Top Rank, I'll do so. I don't have a problem doing that.
How would you like matchmakers and promoters to present you to the boxing public?
I would like them to present me as a humble, strong-minded, young, up-and-coming boxer who is hungry and wants more than a lot of people can even strive for, even think to strive for.
What do you fight for?
I fight for my legacy. I fight for my name. I fight to get recognized. I fight for a lot of reasons. I walk with God. There's a lot of things I fight for. I fight to get up out of the so-called mud.
When it's all said and done, you're retired from boxing, like 15, 20 years from now. What kind of fighter do you want to be remembered as?
I want to be remembered as, firstly, a world champ. But I want to be remembered as one of the greatest, for sure. That's something that I've always dreamed of. And it's not so much about being known or having the fame. It's more so just proving to myself what I'm capable of.
What do you think makes a great fighter? An all-time great fighter. Let me specify on that. Because there are great fighters, but then I feel like there's levels. So, like, what do you think makes an all-time great fighter?
I think the number one thing that makes an all-time great fighter is their mindset and how they can stay controlled during tough situations. Crawford's great at that. Muhammad Ali is great at that. I don't really know much about Sugar Ray Robinson's mindset too much as far as what I've seen film, but there's not much out there about him. But I think he must have had a crazy mindset as well, having to fight back in that day with them gloves and that competition out there. But yeah, mindset's definitely the one thing that makes an all-time great fighter. And then skills.
Rank these skill sets from most important to least important. I'm going to name 5. Power, speed, footwork, rhythm, and timing.
That's a great question. I really like that question. I believe timing is the most important because timing has a lot to do with just about all those aspects you said, you noticed. Timing could be footwork, timing could be head movement, timing could be punches, timing could be just about anything. Timing could be when it's the right time to do this certain move. So timing is at the number 1 spot, without a doubt. Timing beats speed, timing beats power, timing beats a lot of things. Even sometimes it beats skill. But the most skilled fighters have great timing. Second spot would have to be footwork. If you can move your feet really well and you know how to move your feet, change, be able to sit down and still dance and move and not get hit, that's the number 2 spot. Number 3 spot, speed. Because with speed, majority of the time you have power. If you can hit somebody before or when they're not ready or before they know, then that's huge. That can be more than power. Then I would say number 4, that's tough. You juggle between power and rhythm. If you're talking about pros, world class, I think power would be number 4 because there's a lot of fights where you can't really get out unless you can have something that intimidates the opponent, which would be speed or power. But some guys can handle speed because they're ready and their timing and reflexes are good. But in the amateurs, I think rhythm is more important. So that's a mix-up. But if you're talking pros, I think power is number 4, rhythm's number 5.
How did Bam Bam come along?
Being young, fighting a lot, and running around the house, having all this energy, messing things up. If you know the movie or the cartoon Flintstones, the little kid Bam Bam, that was kind of like me. I would just run around breaking things. I just had a lot of energy, and that was like the start of it. It was a little thing that was being thrown around with a couple of my little family members, and then I started boxing, and they were like, "Damn, like Bam Bam, like he's Bam, like that's Bam Bam right there." And so a couple of people started calling me it, and a lot of my family started calling me it. So I'm like, "Yeah, that sticks. I like that." Malik Bam Bam Johnson, MBJ. My middle name is Bernard too. I was like,
Fire.
"Yeah, that's fire." I'm like, I know there's a lot of fighters out there that got Bam, but not a lot of them have Bam Bam.
Yeah, I haven't heard Bam Bam.
Yeah, so that stuck with me.
All right, this is the closing message. Is there anything else you want to say to your fans, supporters, family members, or friends?
I would like to say thank you to my coaches, all my gym family, everybody that's around me. They know who they are. My aunt, my uncle, they basically supported me throughout 6 years of my life, probably the most important parts of my life. For that age, I would like to thank my family. I'm so grateful. Thank God. And thank my sponsors. Shout out to my sponsors. Shout out everybody, man. I'm so grateful. Appreciate you guys.
Cool, man. Well, it was an honor to interview, bro. Thanks for the opportunity. I think you're going to do some big things in the sport of boxing, for sure. Just keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
boxing.